In other words, Jesus understood, I'm up on the cross. It's at my darkest hour. Multimedia, bring down the lights all the way. And in my darkest hour, in the darkest state, I'm hurt, I'm bruised. People are laughing at me. People are mocking me. Like Tierra said, they looked at her and they laughed at her. She was the new kid on the spot. No one came to help her out. Jesus was on the cross in a similar situation. Nobody helped him. He hung up there all night long. He hung up there all day long. But even in the midst of his hurt, he understood it's not about them, but it's about him. And somebody in here has to understand, you cannot live your life to impress them, but you got to live your life to impress him, because they can't save you, but like the church says, Jesus will save you. And Jesus is up on the cross and he says, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. In other words, multimedia, bring back up the light. Jesus said in one situation it was dark, but when I give it over to God, I can see the light. And when I submit and surrender my will to God's will, then I understand I'm commending my spirit not to them, but I'm commending my spirit unto the Lord. And you got to look at what God says. He started out in the first word. He said, Father, forgive them. Then he goes through all of the other 6 sayings. But Jesus goes from humanity, then he stepped back into divinity and said, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. In other words, devil, you can have my body. Devil, you can have my job. Devil, you can have my car. Devil, you can have my clothes. But the one thing that the devil can't have is the devil, you cannot have my spirit, because my spirit belongs to God. And I came to talk to somebody this afternoon to let you know, in spite of what you're going through, you got to understand what I got on the inside belongs to God. And I ain't come to summon last word to impress nobody. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you follow me on social media. But such as I have, I give unto God, because God walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me that he loves me. I went from hateration. I allowed it to be my motivation. I went through a season of isolation, but get ready for your elevation. And when you get your elevation, you got to understand this is the day of jubilation. In other words, I rejoice unto God. Thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to be sick. Had I never been sick, I never know you were a healer. Thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to be broke. Had I never been broke, I never know that you are a baker. Thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to be lonely. Had I never been lonely, I never know that you're a comforter. But I want you to understand, everything you go through in 2018, God allowed it to happen. But you know what you got to do? Like Tierra said, when I slipped and fall, I got to get up and keep on walking. And just like when you go to a store, sometimes you got to understand the doors might be closed, but when you walk up to the door, there's a sensor and it will open up. There's some doors God has said, I won't open up until you step up. Step up to your joy. Step up to your peace. Step up to your happiness. Step up to your deliverance. Because in the midst of your haters, you shall have elevation. From hateration to elevation. And devil, you can laugh all night long, because what the enemy meant for evil, God will turn it around for your good. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. When they looked at him, Largo High School, I want you to know what the enemy meant for evil. When the people said you couldn't come out tonight, you got to be able to see Jesus working it out for your good on your jobs. When you've been passed over for promotion, you got to see Jesus working it out for your good. In that relationship, when they talked about you, when they posted you on social media, you got to see Jesus working it out for your good. And other other words, you got to say, God, do what you need to do. I surrender to you. I submit to you. I give in to you. Because on the seventh word, Father, into thy hand I commend my spirit. In other words, Daddy, do whatever you want to do. Because even though the situation doesn't look good, I want you to understand, they don't see what I see. Because as I look above, I see angels descending from heaven to cover me. And what Jesus is saying, in spite of how your situation looks, you got to give your spirit over to God. With all eyes closed, with all heads bowed. There's somebody here tonight